This is a summary of press releases from Japanese electronics manufacturers on 25th November.
Okay, so let's jump right in. We're starting with a couple of really interesting announcements from NEC, and they're both all about putting AI to work in the real world.
So first up, NEC is tackling a problem that you might not even think about, getting cars into those complex mechanical parking garages. It's actually a really tricky task that until now has completely depended on the eyes and experience of skilled staff. Well, this new AI system is designed to be their high-tech assistant, making the job a whole lot easier and more accurate.
Think of this AI as a super smart second set of eyes for the operator. It looks at everything, the car's make, its model, even stuff like roof racks, and gives a simple, clear go or no-go signal. The whole point here is to cut down on human error and just make the entire parking process smoother for everyone.
And this isn't just about being a little more efficient, it's about solving some very real headaches in the industry. We're talking about two big things. First, easing the huge amount of stress on operators who are constantly worried that one tiny mistake could damage a car. And second, it tackles the incredibly long and expensive 6-month training period it takes to get new staff up to speed.
But NEC isn't stopping at parking garages. Their AI work is getting noticed in a big way. They actually just won the Security Award at the Microsoft Japan Partner of the Year 2025. Why? Well, Microsoft was seriously impressed with their ability to sift through over 1 billion log entries a day to pinpoint real threats. That's a game changer for boosting security while taking a huge load off of their clients' shoulders.
All right, next up, let's talk about Sony Bank. They're also jumping on the AI train, but they're pointing it squarely at improving their customer service operations. So they've built this new app to handle the thousands of customer inquiries they get every single day. And the process is just unbelievably fast. A call comes in, and boom, the AI spits out a summary in less than a second. That summary then gets logged, which helps them analyze everything later to make their services even better.
Now, this is not your average summary tool. It's actually pretty sophisticated under the hood. For starters, the system is smart enough to pick the best large language model for whatever the customer's asking about. It also fights against those weird AI hallucinations, when AI makes stuff up, by feeding it files with specific banking terms to keep it grounded in reality. And on top of all that, it automatically sorts the inquiries, which gives the bank a goldmine of data for improving their products.
Okay, shifting gears from banking to transportation. There's a huge collaboration led by Hitachi that looks like it's going to completely change how people get around Tsukuba City.
They are rolling out a trial for a new mobility-as-a-service app. They're calling it Tsuku-Ticket. The whole idea is to have this one-stop shop on your phone that connects everything. We're talking public transit like trains and buses, tourism, shopping, restaurants, all in one seamless experience. It's all part of this bigger movement to make city travel way smarter.
And here's the real kicker for users, the thing that will get them to actually use it. Depending on how much you use all the different services in the app, you can get a discount of up to 40% on your total bill. That's a pretty powerful incentive, right?
Now, a project this ambitious needs a lot of players. Hitachi is the brains of the operation, developing the core system and analyzing all the data. The travel agency JTB is handling all the payments, and of course, the local rail and bus companies are running the actual transportation side of the trials.
And it looks like the user experience is designed to be super smooth. The app's got a digital ticket screen you can show at the station, and then a really simple payment screen for when you're in a store or restaurant. It really seems to tie the whole trip together. Okay, our next piece of news is from Canon. They're using AI for something incredibly important: infrastructure maintenance. They've just dropped a major update for their cloud inspection service that helps find problems in things like bridges and tunnels. The platform is called Inspection Eye for Infra, and honestly, it just got a massive upgrade. It's more than doubled what it can do. Before, the AI could spot about 5 different kinds of defects, mostly in concrete. Now, it can identify 12 different kinds of structural issues. That's a huge leap.
And we're talking about some seriously critical new abilities here. The AI can now find things like peeling paint or rust on steel bridges, cracks on the outside of buildings, and even concrete starting to separate, which is a huge warning sign before chunks start falling off. This means it's useful for so much more than just concrete now.
They also added a really practical feature for the people out in the field. It's a perspective correction tool. So if an inspector has to snap a photo from a weird angle, the software automatically fixes it to look like it was taken straight on. That makes analyzing the image way easier and more accurate. All right, now for Panasonic. They've got two innovations to talk about that could not be more different from each other. One is in the super hot Robocop market, and the other is all about building safety.
First, this is a big one. Panasonic Energy is making a major move into the Robotaxi world. They've just signed a deal that will last for years to supply their 2170 cylindrical lithium-ion batteries to Zoox. And if you don't know, Zoox is Amazon's company that's building self-driving vehicles from the ground up. So why is this partnership such a big deal? It all comes down to Panasonic's reputation for reliability. Get this. As of September 2025, the company has shipped about 20 billion EV battery cells around the world, with 0 vehicle recalls ever being blamed on their batteries. That is just an unbelievable track record.
Now for something completely different. Panasonic has made the legally required inspections for emergency lights in buildings ridiculously simple. Their new Mirdake Battery Check feature automates the whole thing. The light tests itself every 3 months. If it passes, a little blue light turns on. That's it. All an inspector has to do is walk past and see the blue light. So simple, it's brilliant.
And to finish up, let's look at a couple of recent updates from Fujitsu and Sharp.
Fujitsu just picked up 2 pretty big awards from Microsoft Japan. The first was the AI Innovation Award for a really cool generative AI app they prototyped to help Japan Airlines flight attendants write reports faster. The second, the Migrate SAP Award, was for their expertise in moving huge, complex company planning systems over to the cloud.
And finally, to close this out, Sharp has a new corporate slogan for its overseas markets. It is, "In step with your future." They say the phrase is all about showing their commitment to staying close to what people actually need in their daily lives. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel and giving it a like.